What's good, Kurlfriends? Happy Saturday. It is Dr. Crystal, and we're back for another Kurlfriend Chronicles. If we have not had the opportunity to meet, I am Dr. Crystal Cunningham, clinical pharmacist, transformational curl care specialist, and the founder of Bold's Culture Beauty. And it is my mission to help my curl friends save time, build confidence, and make natural hair care easy. On this journey, I've learned that while our struggles may be individual, we can all learn from one another on this journey. And so, as a way of paying it forward, our stories to normalize the struggle, and then to give you simple strategies to save time, build confidence, and make natural hair care easy. And so I am so very excited to have my girlfriend with me this morning, Roxanne.
Hi. Hi. Good
Hi.
morning. How are
Good morning.
you?
I am so good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. So excited to be here and talk about some hair, child.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. I am excited to have you here and talk about this hair as well. And so, girlfriends, my special guest is here. And listen, we are fired up and ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and get into this conversation.
Oh, man.
Girlfriends, this is my girlfriend, Roxanne. We want to welcome her to Kurlfriend Chronicles, and I will let her reintroduce herself. If some of you caught that introduction, I will let her reintroduce herself. And then, of course, we always want to know what you love about your natural hair.
All right. So I'm reintroducing Roxanne Evonne, owner of The Right Resource. I'm a business strategist, and I help businesses that are currently scaling their business outsource for other areas, so especially the owners, so they can focus on their core values and core missions of their business. I also work full-time for my local government, and I've been doing that for the past 13, 14 years. And yeah.
Okay, and so then go ahead and tell us, what do you love about your natural hair?
What I love most about my natural hair is how healthy it is now compared to what it used to be. And my story is kind of all over the place, but I started transitioning to natural hair in 2010. So I wanted to move away from perming my hair and putting the chemicals in, and I didn't want to do the big chop because I wasn't sure how that look was going to go for me. So I decided to do the transition, and I can tell you that Bantu knots was like my best friend. That was the only thing I really knew how to do with my natural hair. So I was like, oh, that's simple. You know, Rihanna was doing it and rocking it outside. So I was like, okay, I can do that too. It was real easy to do. And I can take it out, and you know, when I'm at work and my curls will be bouncing, and that was pretty much how I started my natural hair journey. And then after a while, it was a lot of crocheting when I wanted to do different styles. So I crocheted a lot of different styles with my hair, and then I started playing around with crocheting locks in my hair. So I gained a fascination with locks, and so I would crochet different styles, different sizes, just to see where I was at. And finally in 2020, I decided to make the leap and go full force into my lock journey. And yeah, going on 3 years of being having sister locks. So
yeah, so I didn't realize a couple of things. One, I might need to talk to you offline about this business strategy, because clearly what I would love and what I do need is to be able to outsource as much as possible, especially considering all the things that have been happening for me in Bold's Culture Beauty, but also that you are relatively fresh in your lock journey.
Yes.
And that is exciting news. And so as we get into this discussion about natural hair, we've talked about, one, that you love the fact that your hair is way healthier than it has been before. And I will say, congratulations. Absolutely. Because what I tell every girlfriend, no matter where you start on your journey, how long you've been natural, that the primary goal for this journey is to ensure the health of your hair. And I don't know if people actually realize how important healthy hair is, especially when it comes to length retention, when it comes to hydration, when it comes to curls definition for those of us that wear our hair out or want to see the curls. When it comes to reaching the goals that you set on your natural hair journey, improving the health of your hair is the most important piece to that.
Yes.
And a lot of times we may be upset about our hair, we may feel insecure about our hair, and if we just attack that underlying issue, all of those other things would not be an issue anymore. For all the Kurlfriends that don't like that their hair is dry or that their hair feels dry. Some people want their hair to be shiny. People want their hair to grow more. They want to retain length. And we are doing all of these things, but still not focusing on improving the health of our hair. And so the fact that you can appreciate the health of your hair, that you have made the health of your hair a focus is a big, big, big deal. And part of my goal is to get Kurlfriends to see that, to embrace that having healthy hair is a necessary part of our natural journeys, and then give them actionable steps that they can take to get them to a place where once they make health that primary goal, then any other goal that they set for their natural hair journey, they are more easily able to achieve. So I do appreciate that you pointed out that health is, or that your hair is healthier than it was before, is one of the things that you actually love about your natural hair. So I do love, love, love that. And so let's talk a little bit about your journey, especially since you pointed out that your hair was healthier before. And I know that you said you enjoy Bantu knots. At some point you started doing crochets. What were some of the challenges or that you faced early on when you were going into your natural journey? And then how did you identify that your hair wasn't healthy?
Yes. So the challenges I faced going into my natural journey was that I had no idea how to do my natural hair. When I was growing up, my sister was the hair person, so she used to be the one to do my hair when I was a kid, and the one time I decided to do my hair before I made the transition, I created bangs, and my bangs was like this. So I was not a professional. I decided to try things on my own, and it did not work. And after that, I really shied away from trying to figure out my hair. I left it to the professionals. So, for the transition, I just kept it as simple as possible. And, but what ended up happening as well was that as I kept on putting in the Bantu knots and getting my hair braided, I wasn't allowing my hair enough time in between sessions to breathe. And no one really told me, you gotta let your hair breathe, child. You gotta let it do what it do. So I just kept on going to the salon, getting it done, wrapping it up, and doing the crochets for many, many years. And then eventually one year, I think it was like in 2014, 2015, I just got tired of trying to figure out what style I want next. What I want to do now, going through pictures, scrolling online, seeing what fits my face and fits that would look good on my hair, and just doing all this research. So one weekend, I just decided to shave half of my hair off. I said, I am tired of this, child. I'm just going to get me some clippers and just shave it off. So, and that's what I started doing. And it went from shaving one side to then doing a mohawk and shaving the other side. And as I kept going, my hair just kept getting shorter and shorter. So fast forward a little bit to the pandemic, I started growing my sides out one side at a time. So my hair was just uneven, all over the place and unruly. And then once the pandemic hit, I don't know what happened. I just literally stopped caring. I stopped caring about my hair. I stopped caring about how I was in the house all the time. I just stopped caring. And during that time that I stopped caring, it's a little embarrassing to say, but I didn't even comb my hair. I wasn't even combing my hair. I allowed my natural hair to pretty much thicken up, and it pretty much was an afro after that. and I rocked a short afro because I just did not care about it. And so again, in August of 2020, I said, you know what, enough is enough. I need to jump back on the bandwagon. I need to get out of this, whatever funk it is that I'm in. And I started doing my research more and more on the locks and the different types of locks and different sizes and everything like that. And I just went ahead and made the switch at that point. So when I first got my hair in, my locks installed, you can literally see the thinning spots in my scalp because of the lack of care that I was giving my hair. And it hit me self-consciously because it was like, oh, everybody can see this. Because when you first get your locks installed, all you see is scalp. Okay? All you see is scalp. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to wear scarves on my head and all kinds of stuff, so it's not as noticeable. But as my hair began to get comfortable in its natural state, it started getting fuller and fuller, and now it's to the point that it's pretty much at its healthiest. So yeah.
Yes. Well,
very happy.
Thank you, first of all, for your transparency and for sharing that with us. Good morning, Jazzy. I do appreciate that. I think might have been last week, I was talking to a girlfriend and we were talking about stress and how that can actually show up in different parts of our body and actually manifest in our hair. And like a lot of times our hair is a warning sign of other things that are bothering us within our body. And how you pointed out the fact that during the pandemic, you just stopped caring. I think a lot of people got to a place where that whole situation was probably very overwhelming. And we went from being outside all the time, or at least being able to dictate when we could come and go, to not being able to do anything. And I think that was a huge adjustment for people. And a lot of times, when we stop caring, period, when we are overwhelmed, when we shut down, the aesthetic things are the things that we tend to not address anymore at all. And so again, through that not caring, it manifests in our hair and the way we take care of ourselves and the way we present ourselves. And so I do appreciate you sharing that, one, because you are being very transparent and vulnerable, but also because there are Kurlfriends who are at different stages and phases in their lives, who may be going through different things in their lives, and they have shut down or maybe have stopped caring. And you are proof that you can still get to a place where you can care again, where you can take care of yourself again, and that it is possible to transition from that space to a place where then you are thriving. And so I do appreciate you sharing that, because I think that's important to know, that's important for people to hear. And then another thing you pointed out was that when you first started your natural journey, you didn't know how to do your hair. And I think for many Kurlfriends, we carry a certain level of shame because, or people make us feel ashamed because we don't know how to do our hair. We don't know what to do with our hair. We don't know what we're supposed to do. And the reality is, depending on what you were doing before you embraced natural hair, who you were relying on before you did that, you might not know what to do. Even when you're relaxed, like, okay, so I was relaxed. I wore a shortcut all the time. I knew how to put some curls in the top and do my fingers and make it cute, but you can't do that. Well, you can, but when I first started, I didn't know that I could take the same simple approach to my natural hair. Now, I take a little bit more work, but you know, so it is okay, Kurlfriends, to not know what to do with your hair. What I would challenge you then is to, one, build a relationship with your hair, learn more about your hair, invest the time in understanding your hair, its unique characteristics, its specific needs, how it should look, feel, and behave, and then use that information to empower you to get to a place where you can learn how to take care of your hair, and where you aren't so easily influenced by what you see around you, that you set goals for your hair that don't even meet the characteristics of your hair, because then that just causes more stress. That causes more frustration, and that makes the entire journey harder. And so thank you for sharing that, because I do want people to realize that you don't have to know how to do your hair. It might be easier if you do know coming out the gate, but you don't have to be a stylist. You don't have to be an expert. You can learn, and you do not have to be ashamed to be like, I don't know how to do my hair. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Guess what? Most people didn't know what they were supposed to do with some things in their life before they took the time to learn it. So no one's expecting you to be an expert. No one's expecting you to have it all right, but be real with yourself. If you don't know, don't be ashamed. Just take the time to learn and get yourself into a position where you can ultimately make caring for your hair easier, where you can build the confidence that you need to boldly present yourself to the world and not be ashamed, not be worried, and not be afraid. And then that brings us to your lock journey, because I am a certified loctician. I do know that you pointed out, and well, this is what I liked about what you said in general, that it was a process, and the more you leaned into it, the healthier your hair became. And I think that is rich, because Kurlfriends, that is true about your natural journey, whether you're locked or whether you want to wear your hair out. It is all a process. The more you lean into it, the more you take care of your hair, the more you learn about your hair, the more you invest in the appropriate care, be that with a professional or you just taking the time to figure out how to do it on your own or being assisted through the process. The more you lean into it, the easier it becomes, the better results that you will get, and ultimately the healthier your hair becomes. But I do want to say, because a lot of Kurlfriends that consider locks, or we say that want to join the grid gang, they're not always ready for that initial how that hair looks. When you first get those locks, it is not going to look like what you see on Instagram. It is not going to look like what you see on TikTok. It is going to be scalp. It's going to be clean lines. And so I think people need to be prepared for that part. And then another thing that I've noticed, that people like the idea of that fresh micro lock or sister lock install where the hair is curly on the ends, but it's not going to stay like that.
No, absolutely not. I tell you, when I decided I was going to lock my hair, the only thing I needed to do was find a loctician. So I went on some consultations, met a couple of locticians, and met with one, had a consult. Very sweet person, and she was just like, so think about it. I said, I don't got to think about nothing. I just needed to make sure the vibe was right. You want to be sure and confident in the person that's putting their hands in your head, right? So I was like, this vibe works for me. I think you're the one that scheduled this appointment and get it done. So scheduled the appointment, got it done. And when I went, it took literally like 24 hours for my hair to shrivel up and shrink. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like really, really shriveled up.
It is going to shrink and swell before it starts to hang. People are not ready for that part.
Yes. And I was like, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready. I was like, okay, I had a little bit of length. I thought I could work with it, and it didn't last very long at all. But going back to what you said earlier about the commitment and the journey, it's such a true statement, because anybody that asks me that may be interested in getting their hair locked, I tell them it is a commitment. I'm like, don't do it if you don't expect to keep it up for at least like 7 to 10 years. Because the first couple of years, your hair is transitioning. It's maturing, it's thickening up, it's getting used to this new pattern that you're doing in your hair. So after that, and you keep up with your regimen, then you really get to see your hair flourish the way that you see it on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and all of that. So you have to like really make that commitment. So those were some things that I really had to think about when I decided to take this journey. And so I definitely keep up with it. I wash my hair as my loctician recommends. I get my hair retightened every 6 weeks. I stick to the regimen. And because I stick to the regimen, my hair is in its best state.
Kurlfriends, I just want to point out that, one, she still washes her hair. You can't escape escape it, locked or loose. And washing your hair is an important part of a healthy hair care regimen. And then also consistency and commitment is necessary on any journey, whether it's loose or locked. Because I know, and to a certain extent, it's not. A lot of people say, I want to get locked because I don't want to be bothered with my hair. It's low maintenance. And it is relatively low maintenance because you don't necessarily have to do, I'm not even going to say as much. The work is different. The time commitment is different. So there's work on both journeys. It just shows up in different ways and in different areas. But the commonality between them is that you still have to be committed to a regimen. You still have to be consistent with your care. And I know, like, even the loctician that I trained under when I got certified, like, you have a whole contract that she has you sign with her, talking about care, talking about maintenance. Like, you're gonna get your hair done every 6 weeks like clockwork, or you're not going to her. And so it is very necessary, one, that you do make sure that vibe is right, because you are essentially entering into a long commitment with the person to make sure, that you are
in a relationship.
Listen, y'all about to be together for a minute. And so I just think that we should realize that nothing is going to work the way it's supposed to. One, if we are not committed, and two, if we are not consistent. And that through that commitment and consistency, we can improve the health of our hair, and whichever journey, locked or loose, becomes easier. And so, Kurlfriends, I would encourage you, whichever way you want to go, that you take the time to consider what the commitment looks like for you on either side. Do your research, be informed. I'm all about empowering people to make informed decisions, because I know that applied knowledge is power. And so learn what you need to learn to make an informed decision so that you can do what is best for you. But don't think just because you're locked that it doesn't require, one, to wash your hair, that it doesn't require some form of consistency, that it doesn't require commitment, and that it doesn't require maintenance. Because I've installed micro locks, I have seen the maintenance, and I know what it takes. And so it is definitely a commitment. Not saying that you shouldn't do it. Hey, make an informed decision about what you want to do, but do realize that one journey over the other doesn't mean you don't have to do anything to your hair. It's actually the opposite. So
in the beginning stages, I had to, twist and band. I learned about the twisting and banding method before washing my hair, and I had to incorporate that into my routine. So that was new and different for me, because I'm just so used to just washing it and letting it and styling afterwards. So just learning how to band and twist it up and wash my hair, and learning that I may not need, and learning to appreciate not having to use so much conditioner. Because, I went to YouTube University for some things, and, I've seen little techniques like, you want to drown your hair in conditioner, and the conditioner is really going to saturate it and make your hair small, soft, smooth, and silky, and all of that. And I was like, wait, I can't use, really can't use conditioner anymore. That was like different for me, and getting used to, like you said, with the locks being in its natural state where it doesn't require as much moisture, allowing the scalp and the oils in your natural oils to moisturize your locks. So that was a new journey thing for me to learn and appreciate. So I gotta wash my hair now, to be quite honest, but and I'm just thinking back to got to band and not, band and not.
So I do appreciate you saying that, because either journey, locked or loose, is still a process. It still requires work. There is still maintenance that needs to be done, and there's still things that you need to consider. And then always, Kurlfriends, and I even tell people this, one, because I know what I'm saying is factual and it is truthful, but like, I challenge everybody, when you receive information from wherever you receive it from, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be you've seen it in a book, whether you've talked to somebody, vet the information to make sure that what you're actually receiving, does it make sense? These are the things that I tell people, like, does this make sense? When you're looking at what these people are telling you to do to your hair, whether you're locked or loose, when you're looking at the steps that people are taking to care for their hair, does it make sense? Is it helpful? Some people will tell you to do things that, beyond the fact that they don't make sense, just are not going to help you on your journey to improving the health of your hair. Is it going to stress you out? Is it going to cause you to put in more work than it's actually worth to get a result? Like, ask yourself these questions. And if the answer is, it's stressing me, I'm working too hard, it doesn't make sense, it's not factual, then you honestly don't need it. Let it go. Because at what point, yes, ma'am, Dr. Melissa, verify, and I'm going to say it one more time, verify. We have, in the natural community, done a good job of believing what people say without necessarily vetting the information. And that has gotten us in a world of trouble. That has gotten us to the point where we set goals that aren't realistic, where we are stressed out on this journey, where we are not product junkies by choice, but we are product junkies because we are trying to use what everybody else says is going to make your hair beautiful. And it has gotten us to the point where we just aren't happy sometimes. And we think that this natural experience is harder than what it really is. And so, yes, 100%, Dr. Melissa, Kurlfriends, verify the information. Ask, does it make sense? Because I know we've seen some things and probably have tried some things. And then when you sit down, you're like, that didn't even make no sense at all. I did it. I bought all those ingredients.
Like, this don't look like that.
And you're just like...
those verses, like what I bought and what is there and what it looks like in real life. And what you see on TV.
Yes, listen, verify. Fact check. Ask yourself the questions. And don't be so committed to a goal that we let that goal blind us from what we're doing to get to that goal or reach that goal actually makes sense. And you should, I agree with that 100%. You should be your own beauty standard.
Absolutely.
Who said that what most people think is beautiful is actually what is beautiful? Who said that you couldn't have natural hair and be beautiful? Who said that you couldn't wear a fro, rock a fro, or that you couldn't rock locks, or that you couldn't do whatever you wanted to do to your hair and to your person and be beautiful? And so that is what this is all about, giving people the space and the freedom and empowering them with the knowledge that they need to become their own expert, to reclaim their power over themselves, over their beauty standards, and to be fully embrace who they are, who they should be, and then to take up space. I love to say that. Take up space. For far too long, we have been insecure, we have been silent, we have been falling back because somebody else said that natural hair or locks wasn't professional. Somebody else said that these things weren't beautiful. Somebody else said you had to have straight hair. And why? Who are they? And who are they to tell me what beautiful actually is, right? And so take up space, Kurlfriends.
Right.
Get the information that you need to get your power back, and then be you. Be brave, be bold, and be beautiful, because only you can set the standard and dictate what that really is to you and what that actually means. And so I do appreciate you saying that. I think it is important, though, that we, one, are gracious with ourselves, but then also that we are still judicious when it comes to information and the messages that we receive about natural hair, about locks, about what is beautiful, because the negativity spreads so quickly and so easily, and we absorb it and we carry it far more than the positives and the reality that all of our hair is beautiful, the reality that we can't be unattractive if we were created in the image of our maker. And so it is just I'm trying to do my best to change that narrative, because I think once we get that mindset piece right, like everything else, the possibilities are endless. And so As we continue in this discussion, I do want to ask this, what are some of your favorite things about your Loc'd journey? Because I would imagine there's some Kurlfriends on here who may be on the fence about whether they want to stay a loose natural or whether they want to be Loc'd. We know that it's a journey. We know there's still maintenance required. We know there's that adjustment period during the maturation before the hair fully buds and locks. We know those cute curls on the end are not going to be there forever. So now that you're 3 years into this journey, what are some of the things that you absolutely love about your Loc'd journey?
Well, the low maintenance is a factor. So I do enjoy the fact that I was able to get rid of a lot of the products that I've bought. First thing I did was save some money. I got rid of all these different products and gels and all this stuff that I was just using in my hair. And I stick with pretty much water and oil. And that's all that I put in here. So the maintenance is a bit easier. I love waking up in the morning and just putting a little water to give it a little liveliness from overnight, putting a little oil to add a little shine. If I feel like doing my edges, I'll do it. Most of the time I don't. I just let it do what it do. So it is one of my favorite things. And now that I've been Loc'd for so long, I actually enjoy washing my hair. You know, so I was just like, ooh, I can wash it. I can let the water just run all through it. I don't have to worry. And yeah, so I enjoy washing my hair now. And another thing, I like that it doesn't stop me from doing other styles. Like if I want to wear a wig, I can still wear a wig. Sometimes you can even braid your locks down and still get a weave sewn in. I've seen a lot of things. When I just feel like being straight today, I can still go and get my hair done in styles that I may still like, even though I'm Loc'd. So it definitely hasn't hindered me from still exploring other options. But right now I'm just completely locked into the Loc'd journey. So, but it's good to know that I have options. But there's one thing I will say that I miss, and that is combing my hair. Dr. Crystal, I miss combing my hair. Like that sensation of a comb when it hits your scalp and you run it through is like no other. So I do miss that one tiny factor of being natural and being straight. But other than that, that is actually
good to hear. And I see that Dr. Melissa said that she had been Loc'd for 18 years and she loved it, but she's also loving her loose natural journey right now. And so it is like with everything, there's definitely an adjustment, especially if you were committed or connected to something for a while. And then you are now entering in a different phase or place of your natural journey. I do love, though, that you pointed out that there are options even when you are Loc'd. There are still different things that you can do to your hair. One Kurlfriends, I would caution to make sure that the hair is mature before you start experimenting and doing things, because you go mess around and then it'll just come loose, or worse, it might pop off. So you still have to be concerned about maintaining the health of your hair. I love the fact that you also that you have options, but you also embrace and enjoy the hair the way it is now, and that you love to wash your hair. First of all, I absolutely love to wash my hair. It is like one of my favorite things to do. And so when somebody else says that they love to wash their hair, I just love that. But then also because Kurlfriends, washing your hair is a necessity. And it is a form of self-care. You can wash away everything in that shower with that shampoo when you're washing your hair. And I've told people before, like, it's a whole experience for me. I'm lighting candles. I'm turning on music. I might dim the lights. I might turn on a sermon. I'm going to be in there for as long as I feel like I want to be in there. But I love.
Yes. That part. No, that part. That is factual. Like I'm in the shower for like an hour just because I don't know what it's the water, it's the hitting the scalp, it's just taking your time. It's the whole journey is just paying attention, sectioning out your hair, running the shampoo and the conditioner and well, for me, you know, the sulfate free stuff. And just going through that process, and then the feeling afterwards once you get out and your hair, it's like it's at its peak at that point when you're getting out of that shower. And you look at yourself, you're like, oh snap, like this is what's up right here.
Yes.
And I have this look every day, but yeah,
yes, it is definitely an experience I think that more Kurlfriends should embrace. I know people don't like washing their hair. I know people, for different reasons, have their own preferences when it comes to like wash day. One, it does not have to be as complicated as we've made it. I'm in the shower as long as I want to, not because I'm doing 10,000 things to my hair. I'm really cleansing it, I'm conditioning it, I'm detangling it, and then in my case, depending on what style I want, I might start putting the gel or whatever styler I'm using in my hair in the shower. But you don't have to do all the things. It does not have to take a lot of time. I can enjoy it because I am not consumed by all of the other things that are going on. And so that is part of what makes it enjoyable. And there's no time limit on how I choose to focus on taking care of my hair. I cut out all the stuff that wasn't necessary. And then I gave myself the freedom to indulge myself, to nurture my hair, to enjoy the whole experience of washing my hair, which is why it can now be an enjoyable process for me. And so Mellow 426 has a question. She says, what are your thoughts about washing your hair more than once a week? I ask because the look of my wash and go doesn't please me past about day 5. And so this is what I would say. You are free to wash your hair more than once a week. I would say, first off, you need to be mindful of the type of shampoo you're using if you're going to wash your hair more frequently, and choose a shampoo that meets the need of your hair going into that wash day session. So you won't always need a clarifying shampoo. In most instances, if you're washing your hair, like I actually just did a midweek wash myself, and so I didn't use a clarifying shampoo because it wasn't necessary, but I did use a moisturizing shampoo. And I might just change the way I approach the products that I use when it goes into washing my hair in the middle of the week. But I am, listen, first of all, moisture comes from water. So the more consistent we are with cleansing and conditioning our hair, the more hydrated, the more defined, the more manageable. All of those things come with consistency with washing our hair. That doesn't mean you have to wash it every day, but I am not against the midweek wash. You are free to wash your hair, and especially if you enjoy a certain aesthetic, and washing it at day 5 is going to help you get back to that place where you feel most comfortable and confident. Wash your hair at day 5. Nobody says you have to push it to day 7 or to day 10. And so you are free to wash that hair on day 5 if you are at a place where, 1, you feel it's necessary to wash your hair, or 2, you just want the hair to look a certain way and you know that washing it is going to get you there, then wash that hair. So I am not opposed to those midweek washes. Here in Florida, it's hot. It's the summer. I sweat more. I've been walking more. I've been exercising more. And so I'm going to need to wash my hair. Otherwise, beyond the curls not looking anyway, it's just the scalp isn't clean. And if I want my hair to thrive, I want my hair and scalp to be healthy. And part of that requirement is me washing it. And so I'm into midweek washes now, especially since it's the summer, especially since I'm more active right now in the summer. And so there's nothing against midweek washes, and there's absolutely nothing against wanting your hair to look a certain way. So if that makes you most comfortable, then you are free to do it. Just make sure that you're choosing the right shampoos going into that midweek wash so that you don't get into a position where you're actually doing more harm than good. But yes, I'm all for it. And hi, Miss Vicky. Appreciate the love and the hug. So let's see, what is something, Kurlfriends, if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments about locks or about loose natural hair. What is one of the things, I guess, that you would, so obviously you're to a place where you're very more comfortable and confident on your natural journey, on your Loc'd journey, what are some of the things that you did to help you get to that place where you could be this comfortable and confident in your natural hair?
Like definitely being consistent and sticking to my regimen. I use the same products that my loctician uses in my hair when I'm in the salon. Even though I do wash my hair myself, there are times when I don't feel like washing my hair and I let my loctician wash my hair for me. So I try to use the same, I intentionally use the same products that she uses on my hair so I can stay consistent with that. And again, like sticking to the regimen, not going every 6 weeks. And in between that time, I tend to run my fingers through my hair a lot, especially when I'm at home, because the one thing with locks is it can get a little tangled and, with the new growth. And so I do run my fingers through my hair a lot to separate my locks as much as possible. And just taking time to do that. And when I'm home, I usually wear my hair out like it is now when I'm out and about. But when I'm at home, immediately it goes in a ponytail and I put my scarf on my head. Because one thing with locks, it can also catch a lot of dust. And so I definitely do my due diligence and cover my hair up when I get home as soon as possible to keep as much dust and dander out of my locks.
If you are curious about that Loc'd journey, make sure, and that was one of the things that when I was taking the certification that we were talking about as well, because it is easy for the hair when it is in its locked state to pick up a lot of things, just making sure you're preserving and protecting that hair to ensure that it is its best and that it gets its best results. And so thank you for sharing that for the Kurlfriends that might have been considering that might be considering what all is required for that Loc'd journey. And then also pointing out, one, you partner with a professional. Kurlfriends, if you're in a place where you're not sure or you're uncertain, do your due diligence to get the help that you need to make caring for your natural hair, caring for your locked hair easy. Sometimes that means partnering with a professional, or sometimes that means connecting to a trusted source that can give you factual information that can help you make informed and intelligent decisions about the products that you need, about the frequency with which you should wash your hair, about how you should approach caring for your hair so that you can make it easy. Essentially, they'll give you a blueprint, and then all you have to do is plug and play to meet the necessities and the requirements of your life. And so I would encourage you, don't struggle alone. Find someone you trust to help you not struggle at all. So you do not have to you don't have to struggle on your natural hair journey. With the amount of information that is available, and now more factual information is coming out, or more factual information is getting the spotlight. So you don't have to struggle at all. You just have to invest the time mostly into learning what you need to know about your hair, learning what you need to know about properly caring for your hair, and then be consistent. One of the things that she pointed out is that she is consistent with the products that she uses. And that's one thing I will tell Kurlfriends, because I know we like to play with products. I know we like to try new things. I know product claims are very enticing, but when you find something that works, who says that you have to find something else? Like, why do you need to continue to experiment with things if you have something that you know is already working for you? And so I would say my staple products, my go-to products, well, I own the store, so everything is enticing to me. So part of the store is the front for me to be able to play with a lot of products. But I also know what types of products are going to work well in my hair. I also know what types of products might need to be paired with something else in order for me to get the best results. But when you find something that works, when you find something that loves, just use it. Unless something in your life necessitates that you switch to something else, nobody says that you just got to keep getting products because people keep making things and keep putting things out there. If you see something that you're like, hey, I want to see how this does in my hair, fine, try it. But you don't have to just continuously try new things if you've already found something that works. remain consistent, stick with it. And the thing is, it only gets better. And I know a lot of times some people say that their hair doesn't respond the same way. Sometimes it's just product buildup, and sometimes we just need to clarify our hair. And so I would say that you one, if we take the time to understand our hair, if we paid a little bit of attention to the products that we select, if we were intentional about what we're selecting, then it would make the whole process easier. It would eliminate some of that product junkyism, and it would help us to remain focused and consistent on improving the health of our hair without being distracted by the things that would further complicate our natural journeys. And so let's see, Mello has another question. Do you have any recommendations for at night maintenance for wash and goes? I wear a silk scarf and then a bonnet on top, but it's usually plastered to my scalp in the morning. And you were, okay, you weren't a fan of the buff. So I personally wasn't a fan of the buff either, but I do wear a silk scarf on my hair at night. And so what I do after the air in the bathroom is dry, I take the scarf off and I just fluff the hair and go. And I have some videos on my feed of me doing just that. I take the scarf off, I shake my hair, I fluff it up, and I go, because the scarf is going to be flat. I wasn't really a big fan of the bonnet, only because for the stage my hair was in, it would push my bang up. I'm sorry, y'all. It's so funny now, but it wasn't funny when I was trying to walk out the house and my hair was like this. But it would push my bang up, and so I was like, I'm not playing with these people out here with my hair going like this. And I'm not doing it. So I just started wearing a scarf because I did like the idea that it would flatten the hair and it kind of holds it in one place. Like in the scarf, in the bonnet, it was easier for my hair just to move around. So I like that. But essentially all I do, Mello, is just take that scarf off and shake my head like crazy, fluff it up, and then shake and go. Like literally shaking. I'm going like this. We're gonna make sure it look good. That probably does introduce a little bit of frizz. But me and my silk scarf have been BFFs. It has been what has been working the best for me. Right now, I don't have to worry about that little cockatoo bang. And so that is my that is my other option. But the simple solution for me is when it's flat, just shake it like crazy and then fluff it up and then I go. And so that has been working very, very well for me. But I see Dr. Melissa says no buff or bonnet for her. She wears her silk scarf. And she just goes as well. I have found it to be the easiest thing for me to do, super efficient, and then a little bit of shaking in the morning. Now that my hair has some length on it, got a little bit of weight on it, and it will actually move, works well for me. And so then I can just fluff it up, and I can go about my business, and I can have a good day. Yeah, but I did try the buff. My hair has length, but it shrinks to the point where, like, if I put a buff on, I would probably take it off and be looking like Marge Simpson. So I'm not trying to be out here looking crazy. And sometimes I felt like whatever moisture was in my hair, I don't know if they have like satin line buffs now, but because the buff was cotton, it wasn't doing what I needed it to do for my hair. So I sleep on a satin pillow, and then I just tie my hair in a scarf in the event that the scarf, do what scarves sometimes do and wind up on the other side of the room. But yeah, me and my scarf, we've been hanging tough for the last few years, and it's worked well for me.
And there's so many different things now available to us, like especially in the wintertime, we had to wear silk scarves and then a hat over our head, to keep it. But now you have the hats that has the liners in it to protect our hair. It's like so many different options now. So things are definitely moving forward in a great direction.
That is really, really true. And so I would say, well, one, you can actually get some silk scarves from Bold Culture Beauty, since beauty supplies aren't really a thing in your area. We ship everywhere in the U.S. and Canada, but you can actually get scarves and pillowcases from Bold Culture Beauty. And then one brand that I do actually really, really love is Glow by Day, which is the one that we sell here in the store. They do have a nice selection of satin scarves, and they're really big, and they're already shaped like a triangle. So you can just tie your hair up with those, and that is what I use, and that is what has been working for me. So if you're interested in getting a silk scarf, definitely check me out, because in addition to products, we've got scarves as well. But it is a good brand. It's another Black-owned brand. And it is a quality product. I have a lot of Kurlfriends that use them, that have gotten them from here in the store, and I have never heard anyone have a complaint. I've only had people come back and buy more. So it is definitely a good scarf. I would highly recommend it. And they are available now at Bold Culture Beauty.
Awesome. Mello said, I got you.
I appreciate the support. I definitely appreciate the support. Kurlfriends, if you have any more questions, definitely drop them in the comments. We've been having a very good conversation and a very good time. So I appreciate y'all spending your Saturday morning with me. It is a rainy day here in Orlando, but I enjoy being able to come before you and to, one, normalize the struggle, and then not leave you in that struggle, but giving you simple steps that you can, in most instances, apply right now to get to a place where you can save time, build confidence, and make natural hair care easy. Kurlfriends, you don't have to do this natural journey alone. You do not have to struggle. I am more than willing to help each and every one of you get to a place where your natural journey becomes easier. I also appreciate the fact that I can show you options, that I can give you other people's experiences, so that we can, again, normalize that struggle, but then also see how others work through those things as well. So it has been a pleasure to share with you this morning. Stay tuned, because the Good Hair Masterclass is coming next week. And so, Kurlfriends, it's a good time. Join us, where we get more into dispelling the myths about good hair, dispelling the myths about natural hair care, and then giving you the tools that you need to actually become your own hair goals and do my favorite thing, which is take up space and get your power back and take control of your natural journey. It has been a pleasure to share with y'all today. I'm super excited. This was a really good conversation, Roxanne. It was so much fun.
Yes,
so
thank you.
As we prepare to leave, do you have anything else that you would love to share with our Kurlfriends as we continue to take up space on this natural journey?
Well, Dr. Crystal hit it on the head. Do your research and ask questions. I always ask questions because, honestly, I can't see the back of my head. So I don't know what's going on in there, but my loctician knows what's going on in there. So I ask questions like, any recommendations? How is it looking in there? Anything I need to do, switch up or change? And, I just ask for the feedback. So just don't be afraid to ask questions and, gather as much information as you need to.
It definitely will. My mom always said a closed mouth don't get fed. So definitely ask. Definitely ask.
Absolutely.
Because you won't know. Sometimes you won't know what you don't know until you ask, and you can't get to a solution or a resolution until you are aware of what the issue may be. So, Kurlfriends, it has definitely been a pleasure to share with you this morning. It has definitely been a pleasure to connect with you. I hope y'all have enjoyed this as much as we did, because it was truly a good time. And thank you, Roxanne, for joining me. It was such a pleasure to get into this conversation with you.
Thank you so much.
If you are considering your Loc'd journey, I hope this has helped you, help to shed some light on what is required. You still have to wash your hair. But there's versatility in loose and locked on your natural journey. And I think that is a beautiful thing, because I have had a lot of Kurlfriends tell me that one of the things that they love about their hair, in addition to it being healthy, is that it is versatile. And Roxanne has shown us that that is true, whether you are loose or locks. The versatility is still there. And so thank you so much for your transparency, for sharing your journey, and thank you to all the Kurlfriends for joining me this morning. It has been a pleasure. And until next time, Kurlfriends.